Hello. Just reading a newspaper. So this is the Baylor Lariat. This is the official Baylor Bears newspaper from their university. And I was just looking at the March Madness bracket done by their sports writer, and I'm actually pretty surprised here. They got the finals right. They just didn't get the final winner correct, even though that it was their school. Because their final was Gonzaga Baylor, but they had Gonzaga beating Baylor in the finals. Ooh, that's tough one there, Baylor. Sports editor. Well, since basketball season is over, the draft is underway. We have in football, so I just want to say, wherever you're coming from, wherever you're coming from, welcome to Frontline Football, your role-play news updates and highlights, and roll the intro.
Welcome, guys, to Frontline Football. We're gonna just lay the ground rules here on our mock drafts. Jack is presenting right now. His screen is our Frontline Football first mock draft, which is gonna be us picking. So we're all gonna say our takes on who's gonna go number 1 to 32, and we are gonna say like Trevor Lawrence and Trevor Lawrence go at 1. Okay, then Trevor Lawrence will win. And then Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. Then Trevor Lawrence will win because there's 2 votes. Now, if we have a 3-way tie, we just do where our draft board says. So, like, let's do another example. Say Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and J.C. Horn. Yeah, there we go. Those 3 guys get picked in with the first pick. Then we do highest person on that board. So we would do Trevor Lawrence in that situation. All right. If I really can ask if you guys have any questions because we're filming this, but is there any questions with you guys?
Nope.
All right, then let's get this started. And I'm gonna say my first pick. And my first pick will be Trevor Lawrence. He is a great player coming out of Clemson. He's been the number 1 pick for a very long time. So I say Trevor Lawrence, and I'm gonna hand this one off to Jack for his first pick.
I will also be going Trevor Lawrence because it's almost luck, nearly. There could be surprise, but Urban Meyer ran his pro day and was pretty much the only coach to watch it. And he's already liking Jaguars Twitter stuff on his page, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I think that the first pick will be Trevor Lawrence of Clemson University. Now, I would say Justin Fields in this, but it's evident today that because the Jaguars are not ending Fields' pro day, they do not have much at that first pick. So, I believe to go with the safe option here and say that they're drafting Trevor Lawrence.
All right.
Okay, so our Frontline Football pick will be Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is in the books at 1. Right, then.
All right, since I took over the second, since Jack is the second pick, Jack, what is your second pick?
All right. I got to go with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Zachary Wilson out of BYU, quarterback. The Jets have apparently really like him, and they're apparently not sending their offensive coordinator to Fields' second pro day tomorrow, which is a little telling about how they feel. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to go down. He's perfect scheme fit. It makes a lot of sense coming from the Jets, and they're going to take Zach Wilson here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Okay, so with my second pick, I have decided that the Jets will take from BYU. Now, this is not anything new because the Jets have already said that they're drafting Wilson, no doubt. So this is not even a debate anymore. And they need a quarterback because they already traded away Sam Darnold, so they already showed their hand. And they're taking Wilson at 2. So, Zach, who do you have with the Jets take 2?
I will say they are choosing Zach Wilson out of BYU. All right. He's a great player. He looks like a Disney character kind of, but like if Jets want to dig If they like a Disney character, then sure, Zach Wilson's your man. All right, so with our third pick, Josh, you will be taking this over because this should be your pick, but stuff happened. So go.
Okay. So, with the pick, this is going to be a little bit hot here, but I believe that this is the pick that will be made at the end of the day. With the third pick in the draft, the San Francisco 49ers will select Trey Lance from North Dakota State University. Now, here's my reasoning for that. They still have Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo can train him up for a year, and then Trey Lance can take the job from him that next year. I believe in this draft, they're not looking for somebody like Fields. They're going to look for the diamond in the rough. And that is Trey Lance all the way. Trey Lance would be the next Patrick Mahomes for all we know. So I say that they are picking Trey Lance at 3. So I'm going to hand it off to Zach for who he thinks the Niners will take at 3.
Well, I actually think that the Niners will take Justin Fields. The Niners. Oh wait, no, not Justin Fields. Trey Lance. I meant Trey Lance because Trey Lance is super good. He has more athleticism than Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, in my opinion. And if you can say like his last season where he threw no picks and he had like a lot of touchdowns, say you can make that into a quarterback in the NFL, throwing a few picks, this will be a very good pick if it works out. So, yeah, I'd say Trey Lance for them. Jack?
So I've thought about this for quite a bit amount of time. And I've been thinking I was on the Justin Fields train, but I think I'm converting over to Trey Lance. And the reason for this is the 49ers seem in no rush to move Jimmy G. And it feels like Trey Lance, got to remember, in his collegiate career, in 2019, his first year starting, he never threw a pick, ever. And he's got a lot of upside, but we just don't know if he's ready to take the NFL field yet. That sounds perfect for the Niners, because they won't make him take the NFL field yet. They're going to let him sit for a year or two behind Jimmy G, and then I believe when he comes in, he could easily have the highest upside of anyone in this draft. Out of all these prospects, it just makes a lot of sense. You're not moving Jimmy G, and you don't seem very interested in it. So this, from respect to the 49ers, they're going to want to draft and develop for a year and then come into the scene kind of like Patrick Mahomes did. So I'll take it old school, like what the Chiefs did, like what the Packers did, and I'll give the 49ers Trey Lance as well.
Okay. With our fourth pick, I don't really know who I'm choosing yet, so I'm going to hand this one off to Jack.
All right, this took a lot of thinking, and unfortunately, there are no trades in this draft. So it's a no-trade mock draft. We basically have to decide, will the Falcons select the QB of their future? Will they trade down? Or will they draft a prospect? So, you know what my bet's going to be on is, just to clarify, I think this will be a trade down pick. I think someone's going to come up to grab Justin Fields. But for the sake of keeping the mock draft trade list, I'm going to mock them Kyle Pitts here. For some reason, Atlanta, they don't seem very high on this idea of drafting a quarterback. They feel like they want to build up this offense really quickly, and a weapon like Kyle Pitts is going to take the league by storm. I don't really know what they're thinking. I'd take quarterback here, but from what's going on in the league, I have a feeling that this is going to be a trade out. But for the sake of the draft, I am going Kyle Pitts. What are your thoughts, Zach?
No, I would also have him trading out of this pick, but we are not allowed to do that. I would actually think that the Lions would trade up, or Broncos, but at this moment right now, we cannot do that. And I am also choosing Kyle Pitts for them because they haven't had a good tight end since Austin Hooper left. So putting in Kyle Pitts, that monster of him, he can actually give Matt Ryan another option. I would go defense, but none of the defensive picks. Like, I don't think they need corner. I do think that they need corner, but their offense is way more bigger than what they need on defense, which is corner, linebacker. They're like 10 and 13s, and they're not worth picking. So, yeah. All right, Josh.
I'm going to say in the perfect world, there are no trades for this draft. This draft is tradeless. So I would say that Atlanta was smart here. This would be my pick for them. I would say that take Justin Fields at this pick. Because think about it. Fields is from Georgia. And Atlanta is in Georgia. You have the home kid there. He had a really good year at Ohio State. Really, a couple good years. So it's only great to sit Matt Ryan for a year, and then you could have a good quarterback who came from State, unlike his predecessors in the NFL. So I would say draft Justin Fields here if you stay at this pick. He is the best guy for you on the board.
All right, Frontline Football. So I'm going to explain this real quick. We are choosing Kyle Pitts because 2 of us chose Kyle Pitts while 1 of us chose Justin Fields. That's if no one understood the rules, this is how it's working right now. Okay, so with our 5th pick, I will be taking over this one. This should be obvious for everyone, but I am taking Penei Sewell out of Oregon because he is a monster at left tackle. And did you see what Joe Burrow had? Did you see his injury? It was pretty bad. So I don't think that they should go with some mock drafts are saying Jamar Chase because, okay, let me give you the situation. There's a defender named, I don't know, I'll just name him J.J. Watt. And then you have Penei Sewell. He'll block J.J. Watt pretty well. Then, say if you draft Jamar Chase. There's J.J. Watt. He sacks Joe Burrow. You can't connect with Jamar Chase. All right, Jack.
I have to go with Penei Sewell, too. I hear a lot of Jamar Chase coming from people because of the Joe Burrow connection, but you have to understand. Joe Burrow got his knee ripped open last season, and Riley Reef is a below-average right tackle, and Jonah Williams is not a franchise left tackle. Penei Sewell will immediately step in. Jonah Williams can slide to guard, where he can probably be significantly better, and then Riley Reef is a solid enough right tackle to get the job done. Now you're moving in the right direction. Not to mention, when I look at Cincinnati's receivers and weapons chart, there are pretty good options there. T. Higgins had a pretty solid rookie year, all things considered, with the QB situation outside of Burrow. Tyler Boyd is one of the better slot receivers in this league. And Adrian Tate, well, his name isn't heard of. He had a really solid rookie year, a bit of a down year in his sophomore year, but with John Ross and A.J. Green out of the building, he's probably going to get more opportunities. Not to mention, this class is specifically deeper at receiver than I believe at lineman at this point. Meaning, if you really want to go receiver, you can do it later and probably get better value. But the bottom line is, you protect your premium pick in Joe Burrow and you use this pick here. Your receivers are good enough to get the job done. Get him a tackle. Jonah Williams is okay, but he's not going to be as good as Penei Sewell. Riley Reef is okay, but he's not going to be as good as Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell is arguably generational at the left tackle position. He could be the next big thing in the league at left tackle. This is a no-brainer. Penei Sewell here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I am also picking Penei Sewell because I just want to say this. For those of you who is going to go at this pick, you do not even understand the game. And I know that Peter, last name, did this on NFL Network, but that's the thing that people have to understand. I'm not saying that Jamar Chase is a bad weapon at all with this. I am saying Burrow needs a line so that he can find the targets instead of on the ground for.
I think
you need a. Did you not see Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl? He lost his left and right tackle, and he couldn't get anything done. Well, that was also because he was running around the field like an idiot. But he couldn't get anything done because of those linemen not being there. You need linemen in this league. Penei Sewell is a generational prospect that you must take at this pick, not Jamar Chase at this pick.
all right.
Okay.
So with our next pick,
My first name.
Josh, your audio kept cutting out a little bit at the time, some of the time. But we understood that you picked Penei, so yeah.
Penei's in the books.
Yeah. So with our 6th pick, the Dolphins, I'm gonna be handing this one off to Josh, what is your pick?
Can you guys hear me? Am I not
Yes.
frozen?
Yeah, you're not frozen, actually.
Okay. Okay, cool. So with this pick, I believe that the Dolphins will probably go Kyle Pitts at this pick because he's a generational tight end. And if you don't see him as a tight end, he could be moved to receiver. He seems like he has the intangibles to do so. So this would be an amazing pick for them at 6. So I will hand it off to Jack for his thought on who will be picked here.
All right, I'm gonna go Jamar Chase here, just because of my draft. We've got to remember this is the Frontline Football draft. That's the central draft, but we also have our own mock draft. That's why you see Kyle Pitts is off the board, but Josh selected him. That's his mock draft. Frontline Football, and we all have our separate ones. So just to clarify there. But I am picking Jamar Chase from Miami because I think at the end of the day, Tua needs a really nice playmaker in there. They drafted Austin Jackson, who's developing to be the franchise weird. It's weird. He's a right tackle, but because Tua's a lefty, that's his blind side. That's a whole nother thing. But Austin Jackson is a first-round investment, and unlike Cincinnati, who did not do that, that is why I can justify taking a receiver here. I believe that they trust Austin Jackson to develop, and Jamar Chase is the best playmaker on the board as of right now. The talent's there. He is an absolute beast on the field, and I think Jamar Chase, Devontae Parker, you're starting to get a start there, and you're getting Tua a big receiver. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I say also Jamar Chase. He's a very good player, and LSU, I know they opted out this season, but he was really good for LSU during their natty run. I don't know how much of that was with Joe Burrow, like how much of his success was because of Joe Burrow, but he was pretty good. So I'm going to say Jamar Chase. All right. With our 7th pick, I'm going to hand this one off to Jack. The Lions are picking. Jack?
Ooh, so the Lions at 7. I'm going to have them selecting Ohio State QB Justin Fields because as of right now, I believe, just to clarify, no trades in this draft. I think that someone's moving up to 4 to grab Fields at this point. And because the Lions have Jared Goff, who struggled in the McVay offense at times, what's he going to do with Dan Campbell and Anthony Lynn? That's a bit of a downgrade. No offense to those guys. They're pretty good. But as of right now, Justin Fields can sit behind Jared Goff, and he can develop as a franchise quarterback for Detroit. The way this draft fell, Justin Fields is basically sitting there knocking on the door to be your franchise quarterback. I think it makes a lot of sense. He's not going to have to go out there immediately. You have the assets from the Stafford trade. You're going to be able to have Jared Goff go through the teardown that's going on right now so you can collect assets and money. And then next year for the build-up, by the time Goff's contract is done, Justin Fields will be up and running and he'll be ready to go in a significantly better situation if Detroit executes this properly. So that Justin Fields is my pick. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I think that with this pick, unfortunately, I cannot take Justin Fields because I said that he's going to Atlanta in our no-trade draft. So I believe that the Detroit Lions will take Mac Jones. Did he look scary at his pro day? Yes, he overthrew his receivers by a mile sometimes. But in a system like this, Jared Goff can teach him how to really be a quarterback in this league. Now, a lot of these quarterbacks who I'm picking at these points will not be day one starters. Most of them will probably not hit the ground running, and usually won't be starting week 1. But in the season later that next year, they'll be starting. They're project quarterbacks. Some of them can be starters now, but these will just make them better than what they could be if they just started right out of college. So I'll hand it off to Zach for who he thinks will be taken with this pick.
I am not going to be taking Justin Fields at this pick or Mac Jones. I will be taking wide receiver out of Alabama, Jalen Waddle. He's a pretty good player. He can be a first option. He's had injury problems, which kind of scares me. But I think Jalen Waddle can suit this Lions team really well. So I'm going to choose Jalen Waddle. So the Frontline Football pick is going to be Justin Fields because he's still on the board and he's the highest pick there is on draft boards. So Justin Fields is the Frontline Football pick. All right. With the Panthers, Josh and Jack already went, so it's going to be my turn to pick for the Panthers. And I am not going to choose. I'm going to choose. Where is he? Micah Parsons. I know he has character issues. I understand that. But the Panthers, their last good middle linebacker was Luke Kuechly, and he retired. So I think putting Micah Parsons in, he's a really good player, and I think that Micah Parsons can be in that situation that the Panthers are in, that their offense is fine. They have a great offense. Now they just need defense. So Micah Parsons would be a great pickup right now. All right, Josh.
I really feel like for this pick, I'm going to have to choose Patrick Surtain with this, because I believe that the corners is really what needs help here on the Panthers defense. And Patrick Surtain is one of the best available people they could pick. It's Jamar Chase and Waddle. So I decided best available is probably Patrick Surtain. It would probably help them the most. So Patrick Surtain is going to the Panthers in my mock draft. Jack, who do you think?
All right, I'm going to go in a totally different direction from everyone. I'm going to select Devontae Smith here. I understand it's a position of strength, but got to understand with Sam Darnold. He is a struggling man. They lost Curtis Samuel in free agency. Other than DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, everywhere else in the chart, depth chart-wise, is not looking great. I really like Devontae Smith here because I feel like it's an explosive playmaker. I was thinking about tackle, but the way I look at it is Taylor Morden, a right tackle, is off the board, and the way this board fell, I don't think you're going to get enough value out of selecting a right tackle that you don't need in Rashawn Slater or Samuel Cosme or a Christian Darrisaw, which I think is a bit of a reach. I think you could even consider a trade down here, but I took what I felt was most valuable on the board to help Sam Darnold out, so I'm going to grab Devontae Smith.
All right, so since Patrick Surtain is the highest one on the board, Frontline Football pick will be Patrick Surtain, right?
Yes. Surtain is going to 8.
Yes.
Okay, so at number 9, the Denver Broncos are there. And I'm going to hand this one off to Jack because he hasn't started one in a long time.
Ooh, the Broncos. I like a lot of options here for you guys, but I think when the dust settles, I am eyeing down linebacker Micah Parsons. I wanted to give him Mac Jones a bit, but they weren't even at his pro day. It's a little telling. I think you get Von Miller back, you get Bradley Chubb rushing the edge, you fix your secondary with Kendall Fuller and a Ronald Darby. Yes, Ronald Darby. The offense is good enough as it stands. Besides Drew Lock, that's questionable. I don't mind the line. I'm actually kind of a fan of the line at this point in time. I like the way it's developing. So when I look at this Broncos team, I see the biggest position of need besides Drew Lock, however you want to resolve that, is linebacker. So I will be taking Micah Parsons. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I'm going to choose Justin Fields, and I have him fall a lot farther than people are expecting on draft board. But since there's no trade-ups, I feel like the Broncos will trade up to get Justin Fields, but there's no trade-ups. So Justin Fields still goes to them somehow. And I didn't try to just avoid everyone taking Justin Fields. I actually do believe in everyone picking these guys. But, yeah, Justin Fields goes here. So, Josh, you're the final person. Say.
Okay, so this pick, I took a lot of the roster to figure out who would be the best position. And my selection is Micah Parsons from Penn State University. I believe that this linebacking core, I don't believe that they're re-signing Von Miller. He's too old. He has problems with the law right now. So I would say get Micah Parsons. He may have some character issues, but it's really the only thing that you guys can do. It would either be that or you would take J.C. Horn, which I don't believe that you would take. So Micah Parsons is going to Denver.
Has Is Justin Fields still on our Frontline Football board?
No, he went 7.
Okay, good. Okay, with the number 10 pick, Josh, you will be taking this one over. And who are you going to be selecting with this pick?
With the Dallas Cowboys pick, there's really nothing else I could do here but take the best corner on the board in J.C. Horn. Now, this was a really big blackboard for corners because if you think about it, Dak would be scoring every single point. The reason the defense could never hold up. Now, this is because corner play was terrible this year. They're going to need somebody like J.C. Horn in that locker room. So, I am going to say that Jerry Boy is going to be picking J.C. Horn to come to Dallas. So, I will hand it off to Zach for his take.
I'm going to do a hot take here. Did you see how the O-line played? Not too well. I'm going to take Rashad Slater. Now, that O-line is getting older and older every day, and I don't think that they'll be as good as they were 2 years ago, and they won't be as good as they were last year either because they were pretty bad, but they're going to get worse and worse. So, I'm going to take Rashad Slater for them. Jack?
Ooh, this one is super tough because I really, really like J.C. Horn here to fix the cornerback position, but at the same time, Tyron Smith at left tackle is very rarely present. Ooh, that is tough. I think I'm going to have to go... I'm going to flip a coin. Do I have a coin? I don't. Okay.
Wait, isn't Patrick Surtain still on your board, Jack?
Oh, yeah, because I get confused because that's not mine. Yeah, I'm taking Patrick Surtain then. I'll take... That was the tiebreaker for me. I got confused. I have to think about... That's Frontline. There's mine. Patrick Surtain is the best cornerback in the draft, and he is on my board in this scenario. I really like it here. It makes a lot of sense from them. They get to reunite him with Trayvon Diggs. You got to roll the dice. I still think it's a dicey line, but I think Patrick Surtain getting a fifth-year option and a new franchise corner is well worth it. You got to adjust O-line at some point, though, in this draft.
So, we all chose different. Patrick Surtain's already off the board.
So,
And J.C. Horn, Josh picks, so Rashad Slater.
Rashawn Slater's 9th rated prospect. J.C. Horn is 13. So Rashawn Slater's Dallas.
All right. The New York Giants. Who do you guys have? Oh, actually, let's start this one. The Giants. Very interesting situation that they're in. Now, I think they have a pretty good offense. Wait, no. Well, Daniel Jones needs one more year. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have them picking. This is a little bit weird, but why did the Giants win most of their Super Bowls before Eli Manning? Good linebackers. That's one of the things. They have horrible linebackers right now. And I say, even though that Mac Jones is still on the board, I am saying that they are going to take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame. He's going to be very good for them. I think that he'll actually perform very well, and he'll get the job done. And I'm going to hand this one off to, I'll say, Josh.
Okay, it's my mock draft. I still have 2 receivers who are number 4 and 8 in this draft. So, with the Giants, I think in this situation, they can't pass up on him. I'm saying that the Giants will have Jamar Chase on their team to give Daniel Jones another weapon along with Kenny Golladay. Now, this is not what I believe that the Giants are taking because of need, but because of how good Jamar Chase actually is. And because he's still there at the number 11 spot. So that is going to be my pick. Jamar Chase is going to the Giants. So, Jack, what are your thoughts on the number 11 pick?
I'm taking Rashawn Slater here. This one's a pretty home run for me. You got the $72 million man, Kenny Galladay. You got Darius Slayton. You got Sterling Shepard. You got Kyle Rudolph and Evan Ingram. The offensive weapons are looking very nice. Now, for Josh's scenario, I get Jamar Chase because he's there. But since he's not there for me, I'm going to focus on the line. If I'm Dave Gettleman, Daniel Jones' career, his success in this league, buys on the fact that if he's able to successfully develop Daniel Jones. So I think you give him every opportunity to succeed possible, and I think Rashawn Slater does that for you, and it gives you a huge advantage and helps the O-line.
All right. With did everyone say their take, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, who are we taking on the big board?
Oh, we're taking Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah because your guys are already off the board, right?
Yes.
Which is actually a solid pick.
Yeah. Lucio Carmelo, 11.
Okay, so with the Eagles, I'm going to hand this one off to Jack, if he is ready.
Yes. So the Eagles, this one's pretty simple for me. I'm going Jalen Waddle. Because you might got to remember, my boy Devontae Smith is gone. I don't see any other option here. I love Jalen Waddle's speed. You get an opportunity to get a very, very nice receiver here at 13 to help out your offense, and the Eagles, prepare yourself. You're about to enter rebuild mode. So be ready. I like Jalen Waddle here. His speed gives him a receiver. Got to remember they cut Sean Jackson, Alshon. They need someone else to fill that void, and I think Jalen Waddle is perfect here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Okay, I also believe that the Eagles will be taking the kid from Alabama, Jalen Waddle, because it just seems correct because he needs his weapons. Now, I have heard rumors that they're trying to find some competition for Hurts, but that is just some of the most stupidest stuff that I've ever heard. If you have a rookie quarterback who can start and do well for you, you should keep him. So it's only fair that you give him receivers for him to throw to, because you already have a good O-line, you are a good, O-line, and a couple good running backs here and there. So you just need receivers to give him. Because Alshon Jeffrey and you lost to Sean Jackson. So this is your chance to give him a receiver who he could use to be high. So, Zach, did you say your take?
Nope. And I have them picking Devontae Smith, the Heisman winner himself. Now, he did win a Heisman. I understand that, yes. And I would have had him pick a little bit higher, but he is undersized for a receiver. That's not stopped most receivers like Tyreek Hill and stuff, but he's on the board right now. Devontae Smith is going to probably not be there, but it's a solid pickup. I think the Eagles will take him. It's either going to be Jalen Wall or him, but yeah, I had Devontae Smith. So who are we picking for Frontline Football?
Waddle.
Good. All right, with the LA Chargers. Josh, you're taking over the LA Chargers.
Okay, so what's the big thing that the Chargers will need? They need offensive line to protect their star in Justin Herbert. So, with the number 13 pick, I think it's a pass up on Northwestern's Rashawn Slater, because that provides protection for Herbert. And also, you guys just lost Trey Turner, so this would be a good pickup if you can move him to tackle. You can have him at tackle, left tackle, right tackle, guard if you need him there. So it's probably the best option to choose Slater at this pick, because I believe that he could be versatile if needed, but also he could help protect Herbert and keep him safe from defenders. So I will hand it off to Zach for his take.
I am taking, because he's been on my board for a long time, I feel bad not taking him, Patrick Surtain, the second, because their cornerback core, I think it's Chris Harris, and that's it. So Patrick Surtain would be a big upgrade there, and I don't think he'll be there when they're actually picking, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But it's a solid option. I think Patrick Surtain's a good option. Yeah. So Patrick, Jack.
I will be selecting offensive tackle Christian Darrisaw. Now, the reason I didn't do Slater is because he's gone. He went to the Giants on my board. What was the worst statistic pass blocking O-line league in the league? If you answered the Chargers, you'd be correct. Not to mention, the receivers are already very talented with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and a couple solid depth pieces. Tight end could use some work, but you've already spent the big money on Corey Linsley, the center from Green Bay, to bring in an elite center, and is arguably prime at this point. So the only thing left to do, logically, would be to work on the tackle position here. I like corner too, it's intriguing because it is a big need, but the way my board fell, I think the most value here will be getting your franchise left tackle in Christian Darrisaw.
Okay. So with the next pick, it will be... Yeah. It's going to be... Jack. Yeah, you're going to be picking.
So Darrisaw went to the Chargers in the frontline mock,
Yes.
and this is the Vikings, right?
Yes.
Okay, for the Vikings, I've thought about it, and I am going to select edge rusher Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. It's like, so I get it. Line, yeah, they do need some interior O-line, but you have to understand, Danielle Hunter is having a contract dispute right now. He is their top edge rusher going into the season. If he's out and they don't got an edge rusher, they're going to be in big trouble. Not to mention, you will get a first-round pick for Danielle Hunter. So you will be able to select an extra first-round pick next year so you can go build up on your O-line. So I think Ojulari makes a lot of sense here. Danielle Hunter's going to be out soon. You're going to be able to immediately plug and play Ojulari into the offense, and he's going to get to work. Or defense. Good defensive line. You got a good start on defense. You got a good base. But if Danielle Hunter's gone, you get a first for him. You work on O-line next year, and you go with Ojulari here. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Well, I also have Azeez Ojulari going to them. Even if Danielle Hunter is still there, like, I think they lost Yannick Ngakoue, and he was also an edge, and you need two edges. So this is a great edge. Azeez Ojulari would be a plop-and-place guy for a lot of teams. So I think that he would be going here. So yeah. Josh?
Okay, so with this pick, I am also picking Azeez Ojulari. Like everyone else, you need your edge. Danielle Hunter having contract disputes. You probably need him to get more tackles. And you need an edge because you lost Yannick. So Ojulari would be the best for you. So it's like our frontline football pick for number 14 is unanimous. Azeez Ojulari is going at 14.
Let's go. All right. With the 15th pick, Josh will be taking this one over.
So, with the 15th pick, this is coming right after the Julian Edelman news of him getting cut and probably retiring. So, I will have them taking Devontae Smith at this pick. They receivers. They got terrible receivers. Cam Newton's inaccuracy did not help them. But think about it. You have N'Keal Harry, Demetrius Byrd, Julian Edelman. Last time I checked, that's not a top receiving corps. They lost to the Texans. They almost lost to the Cardinals if Zane Gonzalez knew how to kick a football. So, you take a receiver here. Cam needs his receivers. Inaccurate as heck. So, receivers will help make him 2016 self again. Now, am I saying that Cam Newton's going to go back to his 2016 self again? No, he's 30. He's not going to do that. But you need receivers to make him look good and make your team look presentable for these free agents because you keep losing stuff to the Texans. You keep losing stuff to the Bucks. You need to have an identity here. So that comes with getting Devontae Smith. So I will hand it off to Jack for his pick.
I'm actually going to go with something interesting here. I'm going to select Mac Jones. I understand. Sounds interesting, but Belichick was at that pro day, 1. Cam Newton is not the long-term answer, 2. And because of the additions in the offseason, including 4 new receivers, a revamped O-line that looks actually a little better, not a lot better, but it's really good O-line still, and the opt-outs returning, I expect New England to not be this high again. Do I expect this to lead to long-term success? Not necessarily, but I don't think you're going to have an opportunity to get a Mac Jones at 15 again. So if Bill Belichick is personally high on Mac Jones, I think he finally takes a swing and grabs a quarterback here. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Even with the retirement of Julian Edelman, I don't really think that they'll go receiver, especially on my board, because the next best receiver is Rashad Bateman. I'm going to say that they're also going to go with Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a very good talent. Sure, he underthrows receivers a lot. He will have a very tough time in the beginning because he won't be having freaking Devontae Smith catching his passes or Jalen Waddle. He'll have, Nelson Aguilar?
Yes, Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, not the best options, but still, I think that he'll sit for a year under Cam Newton. I think Cam is a pretty good teacher, so yeah, I think that Mac Jones will be very good. All right, so Mac Jones is picked, right?
Yes.
All right, with the Arizona Cardinals, I will be getting. This is a guy I really love, and this guy's my favorite corner in the draft, J.C. Horn. He plays like Jalen Ramsey. He's like probably one of the best corners. I've been saying that for a long time if you've been watching off-season previews. So, yeah, which you should go watch after this video. All right, Jack?
I will also be selecting J.C. Horn here. I like that a lot. And he's there, so what else are you going to do if you're the Cardinals? It's your biggest need, arguably, on your roster. And pretty much the second best corner is just falling onto your lap. The way this board's fallen, he is there at 16, and there's no excuse not to grab him immediately. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I think that the Arizona Cardinals will take Najee, no grade. So, because, unfortunately, the player off of my board is J.C. Horn. So, unfortunately, I can pick J.C. Horn, but we'll go with the next best thing in Greg Newsome. They just need corners. They have Malcolm Butler. That's it. That is their entire good corners list. They need another corner. Greg Newsome can provide that for the team. So, Cardinals are taking Greg Newsome at 16.
Okay, so it's going to be J.C. Horn at the pick.
Yep.
All right, with the Las Vegas Raiders, they usually reach for stuff, so most of our stuff is going to be wrong. So, yeah, just take that in mind, guys. All right, I'm going to hand this one off to Jack.
All right, for the Raiders, I am selecting guard Elijah Vera Tucker out of UFC. And this pains me because I love him and I want him to follow the Jets at 23 so bad. But the way you look at it, the Raiders absolutely killed their O-line this year. Killed it. Like, Rodney Hudson traded, Gabe Jackson gone, and they didn't do that much to address it. So I think the only reasonable option here is O-line. You invested a first in Henry Ruggs, you like it or not. You invested another first in Damon Arnett, like it or not. While those are still positions of need, that doesn't change the fact that you will have investments in that. You have nothing in this O-line, and Derek Carr's getting older. You need to get Vera Tucker here, and it makes a lot of sense. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Okay. I believe, since this board, you take Darsoff. Because he's still on the board, he's the number 14th best guy, and you're getting him at number 17. And you need an O-line because, just like Jack said, you murdered your O-line last year. You traded away Hudson. You traded away tackle. You only re-signed one of your tackles. You lost Gabe Jackson. The list goes on and on. You your O-line this year. You need a new O-line. So this is the only logical pick for you to take at this spot. is Christian Darrisaw because he is still on the board. So, that's my take. Zach, have you?
I have not, and I am also choosing Christian Darrisaw.
Zach,
Oh.
have you done your take?
Yes, I have done. Now I have done my take. It's Chris. I'm doing Christian Darrisaw.
Okay, so the way the board falls, Christian Darrisaw went at 13, so we take Vera Tucker here.
Yes. Okay. Hey, it's O-line. They need that.
O-line is O-line for them.
Yeah. All right. Dolphins are picking again, and Josh, you are taking this one.
Okay, I don't really know what the Dolphins really need here because nothing's really needed at this point. But I believe that they will go best available here and take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Because, here's the thing, they basically trade away a little bit of their O-line. They cut Kyle Van Noy. They trade away Shaq Lawson to the Texans. So those are big pieces here and there. So it'd probably be best if they take somebody like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah here, also because he is the best guy available at this pick. So Owusu-Koramoah will be going to Miami in my draft. So, Zach, who do you think they will take?
Yeah. I'm going to choose best guy available also, which my best guy available is Christian Barmore. D-tackle, Alabama. Now, I could actually understand this pick if they made it. It's best guy available, number one, and their defense just gets better and better by doing this. So, yeah, I like it. So, Jack, what is your...
I'm going Kwity Paye here, edge rusher, Michigan. I like it here. I don't think the Dolphins have a strong edge, especially with Shaq Lawson gone, so it makes a lot of sense to bring in a guy like Kwity Paye to rush the passer here. That means Barmore will get the pick here because he's 18, Kwity Paye's 23, and Josh, what was your pick?
It was the guy with
My
the whole
pick
name.
was
Owusu-Koramoah.
Owusu.
Oh, he's completely gone. Okay, so it will be Barmore.
Then for number 19, Josh, you went already, right? You went last time first, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, I'll be taking this one first, and that will be Rashad Bateman for me. He is a very good receiver. I think his problem, like, he's fast and he's undersized, but undersized is not that bad of a thing. Like, it makes sometimes players fall, but, like, undersized does not mean that they're bad. Probably because they're speedy or something like that. So, yeah. Jack, go.
I will be selecting Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah here out of Notre Dame just because he's on my board. I think they signed Curtis Samuel, so they've kind of invested in the receiving core, and the way it falls, the best on my board right now is Owusu-Koramoah, and arguably it's at a position of need on the Washington defense. One of the few spots of weakness there is at the middle linebacker, and Owusu-Koramoah will be able to come in and fix that. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Unfortunately, I don't have Owusu-Koramoah on my board, so I'm right now just looking at some stuff to make sure that my pick is good, and I will be taking Christian Barmore with this pick. Best guy available, and their defensive tackle was not the best this year, and with this pick and Barmore being on the board, I think the option to take.
Okay, so the Frontline Football pick will be Rashad Bateman
to help out Chase Young.
Okay,
Bateman goes. Oh, Devontae Smith is still on the board.
Wait, what?
Devontae Smith didn't get a vote, so keep that in mind. We don't think Devontae Smith is not going in the first round. Just the way that fell, he lost in all three votings for us, so he's no longer available in any of our mocks.
And let's just give him to the Texans. We are so sorry, but we all have Devontae Smith already gone, I guess.
So just to clarify, the way this mock draft works is it is a vote meaning we all selected Devontae Smith at different times, and we either got voted out or a natural tiebreaker. Devontae Smith will be going in the first round. Just because he's not taken in the first round does not mean he's not a first-round talent.
Because I took him with the number 12 pick. I think Jack and Josh took him at the number 7 pick, right?
I took him at 8. Josh took him at 15.
Okay, so we have taken him before, but we just lost the thing. All right, with our number 20 pick, Jack, go.
All right, Chicago. Oof. I'm going to go Christian Barmore here. He's on my board. He's best available. Akeem Hicks is aging. The Bears are aging. I could also see a Bateman or a Terrence Marshall here, but I think overall, if you're Chicago, just go best available. A-Rob's here for now. College football tends to produce a ton of good value at receiver. I'm going Barmore. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Unfortunately, I do not borrow more on my board, so I will be taking the next best thing that I believe that Bears would take in this situation, which is wide receiver Rashad Bateman from Minnesota, because I'm sorry, they need some receivers, especially that drop in the Nickelodeon playoff game that would have been a touchdown, and also because yes, Allen Robinson is coming back on franchise. We don't know if he's going to re-sign. Also, you have Andy Dalton. You need as many weapons as you can to make this guy look good. So, with my pick, I have Rashad Bateman being taken at number 20. Zach?
Oh, shoot. I'm actually the one who's going to be choosing the draft pick because you guys both chose people that are already off the Frontline Football board. Shoot. Okay. I will be picking Kawhi Payne. I'm picking the edge out of Michigan. Now, people are probably wondering why you're not choosing Elijah Vera Tucker here. Why are you not choosing other people like Greg Newsome? I think an edge is very big for them because, okay, who do you know on the Bears team that is not 30, 29, or more on that D line or front seven? There is no one, I don't think. So I think their defense is really aging, so getting an edge on that team will be really helpful. All right. Now it's gonna be Colts, so that's gonna be Josh.
Okay, with this pick, I have been looking over their board. I believe that their best stop at this pick is Kwity Paye. So with Kwity Paye, I believe that he will go at this pick because he's fallen a little. Well, he hasn't even fallen. This is about where he would go. And the Colts need the most, so then they can have an edge, like Kwity Paye. So I believe that this is the best guy for them. This fits their system perfectly, and he will do well in Indy. So I will hand it off to Jack for his take.
For the Colts, I'm going Rashad Bateman here. I like it a lot. T.Y. Hilton is old. Paris Campbell is meh. Zach Pascal is meh. There's a lot of meh. I like Pittman. But other than that, it's old or it's meh. I think you got to get Carson Wentz a nice weapon here. Already got a great run game. Already got a great O-line. Already got a good enough defense. I think Bateman makes the most sense here. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Oh, dang it. I have to pick for us again. I don't need running backs. I don't. All right. I'm going to go very interesting. Is Greg Newsome still on our Frontline Football board?
Yup.
All right, Greg Newsome. Okay, Colts need corner. I was actually expecting to choose Greg Newsome in this spot or the Jets spot. Since he's still on the board and he's a really good player. I think that the Colts would take Greg Newsome because their corners are not too good and they're going against AJ Brown and that's it. And DJ Shark. That's another one because Texans don't have a really good receiver or Titans. Titans only have AJ Brown and then Jags have DJ Shark. Okay. With our 22nd pick, the Tennessee Titans for me are gonna select Elijah Vera. No, I'm gonna take Jermaine Davis out of Kentucky, linebacker out of Kentucky. They lost Clowney. They don't have a linebacker core mostly. So getting Jermaine Davis is really good. So yeah, he somehow shot up draft boards. That's why he's not on off-season previews. All right, Jack.
I'm selecting Greg Newsome here. No Malcolm Butler, no Adoree Jackson. The secondary is weak. It is incredibly weak. I think it makes a lot of sense here. You don't have an edge presence, but you did invest $70 million in Bud Dupree. So I think the most sense makes here, you either go wide receiver, which the way my board fell, there's not anyone worth drafting at this point in time at 22. The value comes into the second round at this point, or cornerback. So I am selecting Newsome here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Unfortunately, my board did not fall the way that the Titans would have hoped it did. So I'm going to give them Elijah Vera Tucker. Because the other two picks you would be getting at this spot are two running backs. Now, I will say two words of why they don't need a running back. Derrick Henry. You don't need a running back if you have Derrick Henry rushing for you. So you're not taking Najee and you're not taking Travis Etienne with this pick. So the best guy for you would be Derrick Henry. Or not Derrick Henry, Elijah Vera Tucker. Okay.
We got a problem.
It's Jermaine Davis again. Why do I keep
Jermaine
picking
Davis
for
is
him?
on the board. I forgot. Okay, I thought we didn't have anyone on the board.
Why do we not? Why do I keep picking for us?
All
Alright. This time I'm not picking for us for the first ever time, and I am choosing Elijah Vera Tucker for the New York Jets. Actually, yeah, I'm sorry, Jack, I took your team. I just got so pissed.
Don't worry about it. I have a nice pick coming up.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Is he off the Frontline Football board?
No.
Yeah.
I am selecting Oklahoma center Creed Humphrey. Now, this is a draft stock riser here, but it makes a lot of sense. The Jets' O-line, Mekhi Becton and George Fant are fine on the outside. They play good enough. Connor McGovern is a natural guard that was forced to play center this year, so easily slide him over. And then you can select Creed Humphrey to put him in the middle. So not only, you basically solve two positions at once. You get your franchise center, and then you're able to slide over and get a solid guard as well. It's a 2-for-2 deal here. I'll be selecting Creed Humphrey. What about you, Josh?
I will also be selecting Creed Humphreys with this pick because the way that my board fell, you can either take Najee, Travis, Jermaine Davis, Samuel Cosme, Joseph Osai, and a couple other people. I don't believe that take any of those, so I believe that they will go a bit up and take Creed Humphreys, which, like you said, they need a center.
Okay. So the next pick is gonna be the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm gonna hand this one off to Jack because I stole his one. So yeah.
For Pittsburgh, I was going to give him Creed Humphrey, but he just went off the board. So I think the only reasonable option at this point for Pittsburgh is Travis Etienne. I thought about it between Najee and Travis, and I feel like Le'Veon Bell thrived with that specific O-line, and I feel like Travis is a little more towards that Le'Veon Bell style. I like it a lot here. I think it will be a little easier to run elusive rather than power behind the Pittsburgh O-line. I'll be selecting Etienne. What about you, Josh?
So, with this, I believe that they will also take Travis Etienne. So, it is because I think Travis Etienne is probably on the board here for them. And yes, there is still Najee on the board, but I believe that they're looking more for a Le'Veon Bell, James Conner type of running back, more elusiveness than more power. Now, I believe that somewhere Najee's going to fall, but it's just not going to be to Pittsburgh. And Travis, you are going to Pittsburgh. So, I will hand this off to Zach for what he thinks the Steelers will take.
I will be taking Travis Etienne. It's more of a scheme fit for Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell did very well until he had that weird time with him where he was not playing, and then he got traded to the Jets. So, yeah, I think that Pittsburgh will do really well because they just lost James Conner to the Cardinals. So, yeah, I think that this is a good pickup. All right, with our next pick, Josh, you are taking over the Jags. So, yeah.
Shoot.
What?
I got people for them to take. So I will be giving them Jermaine Davis. They need to get that deep running. They already got their need and quarterback done. So I'm just taking best available guy here that's not named Najee because they already have James Robinson at running back. So I am taking Jermaine Davis here.
Okay.
So I will hand this off to Zach for who he thinks the Jaguars will take.
All right, well, you got to protect Trevor Lawrence, so I am choosing Samuel Cosmi. Very good Texas offensive tackle. And, yeah. Jack?
I agree with Zach here. Protect your prodigy, unlike with the Colts for quite some time with Andrew Luck. Don't make the same mistake as the Indianapolis Colts. Select Samuel Cosmi here as your franchise left tackle. I see Tavon Jenkins. It's a bit of a reach, plus he's a bit of a developmental kind of guy, and I don't think the Jags have a strong enough program at this point in time to be developing franchise left tackles on the spot like that. So Samuel Cosmi is the pick for me as well.
All right, so Josh. Okay, so with my Browns pick, I will be taking Joseph Osai out of Texas, an edge out of Texas, because, okay, let me explain this. The Browns were already interested in J.J. Watt, another edge, but they couldn't get him because the Cardinals took him. So I think the best guy available also is Joseph Osai, and it's a team need, so those work together, and 2 Texas players just got taken off the board by me back-to-back. Jack?
For me, I will be selecting Jermaine Davis. He fell on my board, and I look at the Browns. They got Myles Garrett. They could use another edge, but I'm going to hold off on that for now. They got a solid interior line. They got John Johnson on the defense. The only thing I really feel like they're missing, Ward as well in the cornerback room. I think they could use a really nice linebacker here, and I think Jermaine Davis fits that mold. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Okay. I believe that we are on the Browns, correct?
Yes.
I believe that they will be taking Joseph Osai with, like you said, they were trying to go after JJ. They didn't get him. So they're going to get a younger, better version of JJ in Joseph Osai. So, with this, I think Joseph Osai here because Myles Garrett needs his second edge to help him get around, and Joseph Osai is a perfect option to go to Cleveland.
Okay.
So,
With
26.
Good, we're actually picked. Dang, 2 Texas players got picked back-to-back even in Frontline Football. Okay, with our next pick, Jack, you will be taking over the Ravens' first pick. What will it be?
All right, for me, I am going to select Terrence Marshall. Thought about it for a bit, and I realized that line's good. I think that they have a pretty solid... They don't have a lot of edge on defense, but I think it can wait at this point in time. You got to get Lamar a weapon. I like Sammy Watkins. I like Hollywood Brown. I like the speed. I like Devin Duvernay's speed. That's a lot of speed. Why don't we get a big, tough, contested catcher out of LSU and Terrence Marshall instead? Let's get a bit of something to counterproduct all the speed. You don't need all this speed. You can have a little bit of a different style receiver here, and it will help Lamar in the long run. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Well, I would go with you, but I'm going to go with Caleb Farley. Their only corner really is Marlon Humphrey. And Caleb Farley, I know he has a back injury and won't be good until practice. Because that back injury kind of scares me, and that's why he fell down draft boards, of course. But if you're in this situation and he's still on the board because I feel like the Jets might take him. I think you take Caleb Farley because you don't really need a wide receiver. I like your two receivers, and you don't really need a third receiver. You can wait until like the next few rounds to get one. So I think Caleb Farley is the best pickup here. All right, Josh, did you say yours?
I did. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. So, with this pick, since I have him on the board, I will take Samuel Cosme for them. Because of the Orlando Brown situation, I believe that they're going to just get cool. And what I believe is best is they get a tackle right here to protect Lamar. They trade Orlando Brown Jr. to another team, and they have their tackle of the future in Samuel Cosme right there. So then they don't have to worry about whatever happens there with that situation. They can just focus on other needs for the team with their next picks.
Okay. So everyone said their take, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with the Saints, Josh, you are going to be selecting this one.
With the 28th, the New Orleans Saints will select Xavier Collins. He is the best guy on the board besides Najee, and they need that presence in the defense. They're missing a lot of their linebackers because they've had so many people. Xavier Collins, I believe, is the best linebacker in the draft. He was the sack leader for linebackers this year. Probably the only reason why he's at this pick is because he went to Tulsa University, which not the best competition. But I believe that he will be great in an NFL system, and he will be the best linebacker of this draft. So, Saints, I think you just found a diamond in the rough here. So, I will hand it off to Jack for his take.
I, much like Josh, in a way, am going best available on my board at least, other than Najee, because they got Kamara. That's not changing. I'm going to go just Fasai. You lose Trey Hendrickson, who got 16 sacks, big impact to free agency to the Cincinnati Bengals. You could use some help in a lot of spots, but as of right now, I'd say Joseph Fasai, just take best available. Edge is kind of position of need anyway, so grab him here. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Now, I understand you guys, but if the Saints are in this situation and Creed Humphrey is there and they just lost the GOAT Will Clapp, I think that was his name. Was it? Yeah, I think it was his name. Was it his name? I don't remember. But they just lost the GOAT Will Clapp. So Creed Humphrey is there. He's a fine replacement, but you will never replace the GOAT Will Clapp. So, yeah. All right. So I say Creed Humphrey. So Josh's Xavier Collins will be taken because I think your Osai was already taken.
Yes.
And Creed Humphrey. Okay.
Collins.
Don't worry, people. Najee will be taken very soon by me. So yeah.
Collins, 28, Saints.
Yes. All right. With the 29th pick, Josh, you went first or Jack? Which one of you went first?
I think Jack.
Okay.
I got to pick for the Saints. Or the Packers. Packers. Based on my board, there's... Oh, wait. Never mind. I found someone. Xavier Collins. Easy. Give it to him. Martinez is gone. The defense is solid. I would have really liked for them to pick Creed Humphrey here, but not available at this exact opportunity. Xavier Collins for me. Replace Blake Martinez. He never got home run. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I believe that with this pick, they will actually be taking Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech University. Because Kevin King, he was just a hole of the defense. Did you see how many passes he was giving up to the Bucks? Probably without him, it'd be Packers, Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But because Kevin King doesn't know how to cover safeties in the biggest game of his career, I believe that the draft is replacement in Caleb Farley and later Jari Alexander's replacement if and when he leaves Green Bay. So this seems like the best pick for them because it was a big need because Kevin King is not your cornerback number 2. So Zach, what is your pick for Green Bay?
We might have a problem with the Frontline Football board. I chose Xavier Collins, and he got picked last. So how about we just do best available on that Frontline Football board, and that's Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith finally finds a home.
Because we screwed up.
Yay, for the Green Bay!
Jeez, that would be ridiculous. Adams and Smith.
We are sorry, but this is the best that we can do. We are sorry we didn't think of this rule going into this. So we are very sorry, but we screwed up. Yeah. So
Oops.
enjoy it, Packers, while you can. It's probably the only draft board that has you taking Devontae Smith. So yeah. We're sorry about that, but we'll fix it next year. All right, with the Bills, Josh, you're gonna take the Bills.
Okay, with the Bills, Najee finally gets to find a home here. The Bills, they need running backs. Najee is an amazing running back. It would do well in their system and help them attain their goal of one day being Super Bowl champions. So I will hand this off to Zach for his thoughts on who will be picked.
I'm also going Najee. Najee's a very good player, and he's a running back, so he won't go where they're projecting him to go, which is 19-ish in that range, because he's a running back, and Travis Etienne is going in this area, so Najee's going to go in this range. So, yeah, Najee is my pick because they didn't have that good of a running game with Devin Singletary and all of them. Jack?
I really wanted to go Caleb Farley here, but I can't bring myself to do it. I gotta take Najee Harris here. The run game in the Bills was just not up to par. It was just not great. Singletary and Moss were You're a Super Bowl contender, so you do have the privilege of selecting a running back in the first round. I think it makes a lot of sense from both sides. Najee can be the workload back, and the Bills can get another nice toy for Josh Allen.
All right. At 31, I will be picking for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they will be taking Oklahoma State offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins.
Yeah.
Kevon Jenkins or whatever. So, yeah. I'm going to hand this one off to Josh.
I believe also he'll be taking Tavon Jenkins or Tevin, depending on how it's pronounced, because both their tackles. And they Suni and Trey Turner and Kyle Long. But now they need somebody else, and I think Tevin Jenkins is that guy, or Tavon Jenkins. So, Jack, who do you think that the Chiefs will be picking?
Thought about it, Tavon Jenkins. I understand he's the developmental pick of the draft, but luckily for him, he's got a very nice Joe Thuney sitting next to him. So if things start to get south, they can always slide. Not slide Thuney to tackle, but basically put Thuney as a reinforcement to help him out. And I think if Chiefs have to roll the dice here, he is one of the better tackles ceiling-wise. Roll the dice here, take a shot, get a tackle.
They also could block Travis Kelce with him, so to get a double block going. That is true. And then finally, the Super Bowl champs, since Jack was Super Bowl MVP, he will be taking over the Bucks.
So the Bucks, they're literally just perfection at its finest. So I'm going to just take the best available. And would you look at that? A super talented corner with injury issues is here. I'm taking Caleb Farley. I like it a lot. I think that is a super young secondary, but I think it's going to get really, really, really good after Caleb Farley develops if this injury doesn't set him back. And because Caleb Farley is sitting on my board, I felt I had to take him. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I'm going to take Jason Ohe, the Penn State edge, okay? That completes my draft. Josh, you're finally.
I will be taking Terrence Marshall Jr. for my final pick. Because here's the belief that this will come down to a whole part here, which is Scotty Miller, he's a good receiver, but Terrence Marshall is just better. And imagine this receiving core. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Terrence Marshall Jr. That receiving core is lethal. And Brady, he's going to be playing like until he's 50 with that receiving core if they all stay. And that would be an amazing receiving core. Evans and Godwin leave. Marshall can fill in at that number one spot and be ready because he was traded under the GOAT and has two other great wide receivers at his disposal to get knowledge from.
Okay. So, who are we picking for Frontline Football?
The Penn State guy.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I think that does it for our video today. If you liked it and if you want us to, well, we'll do better next year, hopefully, because I'm sorry that Devontae Smith was at Green Bay. But if you like the video and you actually really want to know where Devontae Smith probably could go, watch off-season previews and our mock. And I like that you watched our mock draft. That was kind of cool. But watch off-season previews if you want to know where we actually think that Devontae Smith will probably go in that range. So, yeah. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button. Put in the comments below if you don't agree with some of our picks or Frontline Football. So, yeah. Josh, if they like the video, what should they do?
If you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button, punch that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. Because we will be posting videos throughout the week. This is NFL Draft Time, everybody. This is Mock Draft Monday on a Friday. Why do we call it Mock Draft Monday? Because it just sounds better that way. It's alliteration. So, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button, punch that like button, turn that notification bell on, because when you turn that notification bell on, you become a part of the Frontline Football fan. What's the Frontline Football fan base? Frontline Football fan base is up to every single part of the news for Frontline Football, because we do weekly news. Unfortunately, we cannot do it this week. It's a slow news week, but we do have a mock draft right here and right now. So, have fun. Hopefully your team gets what they need. And I've been Josh from Frontline Football, and Jack, hit the plugs.
As always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FrontlineFB. Links will be in the description as always. If you stuck around for the hour and 16 minutes of the video so far, props to you. It's a long mock draft, but I guarantee you it came out with nice nuggets of knowledge you'd learn nowhere else. Don't kill us for Devontae Smith. We didn't mean to. It didn't happen like that. But yeah, you want to go down there and attack us about someone, Devontae Smith, you can be mad about someone. Or there's a lot of interesting the way the draft fell based on this voting system, and I like it, but it needs some improvements for the Devontae Smiths of the world. But we'll work out the issues later. But if you enjoyed, leave like all that, like Josh said, and we'll see you guys back here next week for a surprise. I don't know.
Hope you guys enjoyed First Round Friday.
Oh, that's got a good ring to it.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys later.